Harvey Dent once said, "You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain." And in this case, Marques Brownlee has become the villain. If you don't know who Marques Brownlee is, he's a huge tech reviewer. He's basically been on YouTube for like 15 years. He's got close to 20 million subscribers. And I know him mostly from his YouTube video where he talked about the Humane AI pin and how that was basically a huge scam, and he basically called it out for being shit. And yeah, that's kind of like where I know him from. But recently, he's been in a bit of a controversy. So very recently, Marques Brownlee came out with this app called Panels, and from what I understand, it is an HD wallpaper app where you can basically get all these different wallpapers for your phone. Initially, my first reaction to that is that's kind of a weird idea for an app, to have an app where these artists or AI or whatever it is basically creates wallpapers for you, which in and of itself I don't think is a bad thing. The thing that I think is a bad thing about it is that it is a subscription-based service. As this article kind of goes over, this is a $12 a month prescription. $12 a month. That's basically the same thing. It's just a little bit lower than a streaming service, and it's $12 a month for a wallpaper app. And apparently it's also free with ads, but from what I understand, the ads are a little intrusive, and from what I also understand, there is a bit of a data problem in that there's a lot of data collecting, and that's put off a lot of people. Basically, the whole controversy here is that Marques Brownlee has effectively gone against everything that he's done as a tech reviewer. He's basically kind of become hypocritical in that way. As you can see here, there's multiple tweets of him talking about how there are certain things that people that are in the tech business should just never do, which is try to charge for something that was already free, or do something that's kind of scummy, like charging people $12 a month for an art app. I don't know, for your wallpapers for your phone. That just kind of that puts me off. As you can see right here, he did respond to the controversy. I don't want to read it in its entirety, but basically from what I understand, God, I keep saying that. I don't want to read it in its entirety, but to summarize, it basically says he understands that a lot of people are coming forward and saying all this negative stuff. He actually appreciates the feedback, and he's going to work and try and fix it. I don't know how true that is. Hopefully there's a lot of good faith that he still has left with his audience, that people are going to be a little understanding. There's kind of mixed opinions all over the place on his conduct regarding this situation, which I think is kind of crazy because apparently, like I said, the guy's been on YouTube for like 15 years. He's been in this business a long time, and he's developed a lot of goodwill with people, but this has just completely plummeted that goodwill. Now, some people, they don't really care. Some people don't really feel that way. Like, for instance, right here, this person says, constructive and valid criticism is all good, but the way some people are trying to cancel Marques over his first app is absurd. And I do kind of understand that to a degree, that, you know, he made a mistake. He made a shitty product, which is kind of funny that it also happens to coincide with, there's like this theme of big YouTubers kind of shelling out and making shitty products all for the sake of just making money. And that does kind of seem what it comes off as with this Panels app. I mean, just from what I've seen people say on Twitter and on this article, it basically just amounts to he's probably going to take a net loss here based on all the negative feedback, even though he's probably going to make a cool like 2 to 3 mil in the ballpark. We're just assuming. But this is the Google Play Store page with Panels. And I just wanted to highlight this right here. I'll zoom in on it. 1.7 stars out of almost 2,500 reviews, which I think is crazy. There's Marques right there. He's happy. He's proud. Yeah, Oh my gosh, this is just so silly. Look at some of these reviews. If only people used a fraction of their brain. This is a well-made, UI-friendly wallpaper browsing app. So this actually seems like somebody who's addressing the controversy right off the get. And then here's what we got: clunky UI, immediate contrast, a bit messy to navigate. I would prefer a cleaner homepage where when you open it, you can search by artist and select a collection or go through individual photos. Another one, charging $50 a year for wallpapers is wild. That's what I've been saying. It's so crazy to me that this is even something that I think that's the thing that I feel like should be talked about more, is whether or not the app is actually a good app with good UI or good products. I think is kind of irrelevant to the fact that you're selling wallpaper art for $12 a month. That's because I think about it and I'm like, for $12 a month, I could be doing so much more with my time. Plus, when I have something on my phone as a wallpaper, I'm not constantly changing the wallpaper. I can't think of somebody that needs to pay for an app to switch out their wallpapers all the time. I'm sure people do it, but when I have a wallpaper on my phone, it's usually my wallpaper for like months almost. I don't know how other people are, but I could have something that's been my wallpaper for a while now. Like, let's see here. This is the wallpaper for my phone. It's a shot of a kite that I was flying at a beach in July. So yeah, it's September now. So it's been a few months since I've had this wallpaper up. But that's just how I am personally. I don't know how other people like to go about it. But yeah, I think it's just a silly idea, and hopefully Marques Brownlee kind of comes out on with some kind of optimism here and corrects all the mistakes and that people have with this. But yeah, I just think it's kind of a silly idea in general, and we'll see if it works out at all. But that's going to be it for me on this. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys some other time. Bye. Harvey Dent one. Wait. Already messing up.